Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Spark Faith Podcast. I am Dr. Chris Sargent, and today we're going to continue talking about getting our knickers in a knot because God told us to do something. Actually, I'd like to start unknotting those knickers for us. It's been a journey to unknot my own knickers, and I will be happy to share any and all of that applies. So, let's talk a little bit about Frank Sinatra. Are you being Frank Sinatra right now? God told us to do something, right? He commanded us to take care of the temple. And Mr. Sinatra was certainly very clear that he was going to do it his way, right? He even sings that he took the blows and did it his way. So, are you firmly planted in Frank Sinatra-land? Are you doing it your way? I certainly did it my way for a really long time, and I've been very open about all that. Are you taking the blows for doing it your way, however? Because I took some blows. I took some pretty hard hits. A lot of different parts of my life took some hits because I decided I needed to do it my way. And that's fine because like I said, I can't judge that. I did that on myself. I did that too. So before you click off because it feels uncomfortable, right? Blah, where's she going, right? If you're honest, let's talk about your health, right? Like if you're really honest, how's your energy level? Do you have like boundless energy every day? Do you pop out of bed no problem? Do you sleep well at night? How about your mental, emotional, spiritual health? Where's that? Do you take time for, do you do your mindfulness on your watch when it tells you to breathe, and do you do all those pieces? Do you manage your weight well, or are you still struggling with that? I know so many people have struggled over COVID and are still and haven't started and have started and stopped and don't care and don't know why they should and all the things. So how's your weight doing? And then how's your ability to cope with life's like things? Because if it's not this, it's that. It's not that, it's this. That's just like that is life. We're not waiting for all that to stop, right? Like that's just gonna keep going on. So again, let's being honest. Like how's it going on your own? How is that doing it your way kind of thing working out? So I'm gonna assume that maybe it's not going so well. Let's just go from there. And if it is, great. I hope you're doing fantastic. I hope you're healthy. And maybe you'll see yourself in some of these other pictures though. Like what's one of your bigger challenges, right? Let's assume that maybe your way isn't working out. So where does the challenge come in? I'm going to start with maybe I'll just start with the easy ones first, right? Like maybe we just get a little overwhelmed, right? Like you don't have a really good reasonable plan. You try this, you try that. It's keto, it's Mediterranean, it's starvation, it's screw it, I'm eating all the carbs I want. Like maybe you don't really have a good reasonable plan, and so things just get overwhelming. Maybe you're just tired of feeling hungry. Like you don't know what to eat, so you just don't. And then you're just sick of being hungry, and you just eat whatever you want all the time. What about a solid long-term plan? Maybe you've got your weight where you want it, but you're not exactly sure how to keep it there, and you've already starting to see things creep back in. So how do you create a good solid, like you don't have this good solid plan, so that just becomes this challenge, right? Now we're going to move into a little bit harder things, like maybe you feel like at 9:30 at night or 8 o'clock at night, the kids are in bed, or you and your husband have some time, and you like to sit down and maybe watch a little Netflix, and there's the bowl of popcorn or Cheetos or Fritos or cookies or whatever, right? So you feel like you kind of deserve that time, and you do deserve time, right? It might be the treats that deserve is a wrong place to put those treats. So, I'm going to ask you right now, like, what else could you do, right? There's other things that you can do. You could knit, you could crochet, you could actually do something for good, right? We can talk about those things on another podcast for sure, and I plan on that. Maybe you just start feeling deprived after a couple of days, right? Like, are you you just get a little hungry, or you're just craving more, or things just, it takes a couple days to move through things. So I'm going to tell you that right now. The first week of any plan is not always going to be fun. So maybe if you could just get through that first week, right? Now we've got two of the big heavy hitters. And I'm only going to skim the surface of these because I want to dive deep into these in my next podcasts. But what about just not being motivated or not staying motivated, right? You get to the end of your first month. Okay, week. Okay, you get to the end of the first day, hour, right? And you really just don't have any reason to stick to the word that you've given yourself. Oh, you gave yourself the word that you were going to stick this time, right? So tell me about this. What happens when a friend totally flakes on you multiple times? Do you keep trusting that friend? So if you keep flaking on yourself, how are you going to trust yourself? Right? And this is self-worth and self-value. This becomes not trusting self. This can spiral into a really ugly place. And I really want to dig into this. So we're not going to dig into that today. And then the last thing I want to dig into, and we're not going to dig into a ton today, but the last thing that may be part of your challenge is guilt and shame and fear and frustration, and you just kind of had it with all of it, and you're just done trying, right? Like you just don't care. It's created so much shame and body image issues and like mental head games about what to eat, what not to eat. Don't eat gluten, do eat gluten, don't do dairy, do this, don't do this, right? And then you just feel guilty about eating at all, or you feel shame when you do go off a little bit and you don't have any boundaries and don't know where to make all that work. And so I really want to, my top reason for starting this podcast anyway, one of the top reasons is to get rid of the guilt and shame that go along with the health industry and the beauty industry to some extent. And let's put that aside, because there's a place for us to put that, Christians. There is an absolutely perfect place for us to put that, ladies. We can totally do this, and I can help you find a new motivation, right? Christ makes us new every single day. And so when we can stay seated in that, we can really make a difference. And so we're going to talk a lot more about that on my next podcast. So y'all have a fantastic afternoon. Hopefully I've given you a couple things to think about, and join me, because these are some of the things that I really want to unpack for all of us, and some of the things that I've had to unpack in different aspects of my life. So have a fantastic afternoon and day. I will talk to you soon. Bye.